Hello everyone, this is Paper Cut Radiation on again, and in a few minutes I'm going to be participating in an online ESL tourney. In fact, let me check to see how many players have already signed up. Yeah, this is going to be a double elimination Swiss system. And if any of you have any questions on what that is, I've already explained it in live streams before, so I won't explain it here again. But if anybody of you have any questions, feel free to say so in the Twitch chat, and I'll quickly explain what it is. I just don't want to get overly repetitive. Just warming up. It's not the right way to do it. There we go. Let's see, it's almost 4. I'm gonna check. It's about, I think, 3:58 right now, so yeah, in 2 minutes the tourney should start. Right now, last time I checked, we had like 280 people who were signed up for this tournament. It might go up. I'll check again. But if anybody else wants to participate, got about over a minute to sign up or check in. All right. There we go. Gotta get warmed up. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, that was good thing I'm warming up. Supposed to be a forward jump. I did a neutral jump. That was better not happen in a tournament, otherwise it might cost me the match. Okay, well, let's do this again. That was too slow. Maybe I shouldn't do the hit. I'll wait for the fatal blow to recharge. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So, check-in just officially closed. So I'm gonna check to see how many people are actually participating in the tournament. And meanwhile, I actually just got the notification that I'm going to be facing my first opponent. So we have 287 participants. So it's going to be obviously it's going to be a lot. So I'm going to join the match right now. This is me joining a match, by the way. You cannot see it on your end. At least you can still hear me on the mic, so you're not just staring at a blank blue screen. Alright, you should be able to see a joining match. And while I wait for my opponent, I'm going to find the link to the double elimination Swiss rankings, so you can see where I stand. Let's see, Mortal. I'm gonna quickly look for that right now online while I wait for my opponent. Alright. I'm gonna quickly post it on the Twitch chat right now. I did find it. And the only thing I have to do now is to post on the Twitch chat. And I just did. Alright. If my opponent doesn't join in a minute or two, I'm going to message my opponent to ask what's up. Cause in fact, now I do it earlier. We have to finish this by 4:30. So the admins will just randomly count one of us out if neither of us reports an absence. So yeah, in fact, you know what? I'm gonna message my opponent right now. I'm not gonna wait that much longer. Says my opponent is... Oh, it's not letting me send a message. Well, then I'll just have to wait. The opponent is not accepting PlayStation messages, so... Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for him to join. I was thinking of maybe opening a protest, but I don't think that's necessary since I can just report an absence on PlayStation Network. You know, honestly, if you participate in an attorney and if you don't set yourself open for messages, you gotta be prepared. If some opponent wants to communicate with you, you have to leave it open on PlayStation Network. I'll try to refresh it right now. Another reason why I'm not going to open a protest like I would at Tekken is because the opponent doesn't accept messages, so it's going to be hard to actually show a screenshot. Because notice when in PlayStation Network, if you try to open the message, it'll just say, "Oh, cannot create new group." So it won't mention the name of the person when it says "can't create new group." So I have to actually show a screenshot of that, but that screenshot is just a message saying "cannot create new group." It doesn't show any names. So what I'm trying to say is that it's going to be hard to send a screenshot of the opponent not joining the match if I submit a protest, because they're going to want a screenshot. If I submit a no-show report, this is why they have a report no-show option on PlayStation Network, because if they just simply don't accept messages, if they just don't show up, you can just report on PlayStation Network. They won't ask for a reason. That's probably why they want you to report a no-show on PlayStation Network. Just explaining how things work here. It's just going to get super complicated if they're going to want a screenshot. Like, how can I submit a screenshot if it won't show their name? I could just say to them, I'd say, hey, message them on PlayStation Network, you'll find out they don't accept messages, but I don't know if the admin's even going to do that. They'll probably say the same thing what I'm saying to you, like, why don't you just report an absence on PlayStation Network? You see, in Tekken, there's really no time limit. I think you have about 30 to 45 minutes between that, I think, to complete a match before and then an admin would then just say, hey, what's going on, why aren't you completing it? Here in Mortal Kombat, since we're having a Swiss system, as usual, we only have 30 minutes to complete it, so it's just going to eat up too much time if I go through the whole protesting and all that on the ESL account. That's why I just report an absence on PlayStation Network. We have, let's see, it's already been like 6 minutes. Yeah, we have oh, he just joined, never mind. Okay. That makes things convenient. Good. He's obviously appearing offline while playing online. No big deal. People aren't entitled to that. And of course this means I am going to mute the mic, so I'll see you after the match.
RoboCop. Black Market Alley.
You have mastered code.
Care to see a demonstration?
Yes.
Round 1, fight.
For the Lin Kuei.
Round 2, fight.
Stay out of trouble.
Final round, fight. Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Round 1, fight.
You are under arrest.
Round 2, fight.
As the snow falls, so will you.
Final round. Fight. Sub-Zero wins.
Well, that was an intense match. And hey, I won, so that means I'm going to be facing another opponent who happens to win 1-0. Happens to score 1-0. I'll just say happens to win a set, so that's how the Swiss works. Alright. Not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna lose that second one for a moment, so
Sub-Zero.
we'll do some practice here. Alright, time for some lessons. And we'll just do random.
Lost half of the Kaitin.
Actually, what should I do? There's actually one other thing I had in mind. I think I'll show you what's safe and not safe to do with Sub-Zero. I did kind of say this in another stream, but I'll say in more details. So,
Sub-Zero.
Dragon
Fight Club.
And this is with the Dead of Winter variant, not the Thin Ice. So the Dead of Winter variant. So first of all, I'm going to show you what moves are dangerous with Sub-Zero. What moves you have to think twice before using them. So that was one of them. But I'll show you. Oh, the frame data is turned on, but I'm going to get my opponent to actually block. So. Now, if you notice, this overhead, sure, this is a high risk, high reward. This is really Sub-Zero's only overhead, to be honest. At least the one that's on the ground. So, if your opponent is ducking and blocking, or just ducking, boom. Remember, mids can get somebody who's ducking and not blocking. Of course, this is forward, 2, 4. 2 to 4, 2 then 4. But so this is high risk, high reward. If you overuse this, thing about Mortal Kombat, be unpredictable. If someone thinks you're going to do an overhead, they may block block high, then catch them with a mid. No, not a mid, a low. Like this, the back three. Because you can then follow this up into a combo. Of course, he's blocking, so I'm not going to use the ice ball on him. Look at that. See what I did? This is why Dead of Winter can be a lot more useful, because with Thin Ice, you don't have the enhanced ice ball. You see, this will only hit confirm into an ice ball. I'm going to turn off block so I can show you. This will only hit confirm into ice ball if it's enhanced. And not all Sub-Zero variation have that. Why is he blocking? Oh no, it's auto. I meant to say off. So this is why when I land a jumping punch, even if he blocks it, I can still be at a frame advantage, and it'll force my opponent to guess a 50-50. And in fact, if my opponent is predicting that I'm going to do a 50-50, I could just catch the opponent off guard, grab a throw. Because in Mortal Kombat, throws are pretty much just luck when it comes to breaking it. You either have to push one button or the other, depending on the throw. The animations look the same. We'll see if they fix that in Mortal Kombat 12. But meanwhile, back to punishable moves. So another move you got to be careful with as Sub-Zero. What was the other one? Let me take a look. Just make sure I don't give wrong info by accident. So unfortunately, I don't have the slide, so I can't demonstrate. But obviously, the slide is punishable. You want to make sure you don't do the slide by accident, because if somebody slow blocks that, they can do a punish. But that's kind of obvious. Sub-Zero's shoulder dash is also punishable, so I'll have my opponent block again to show you. See, no, look at that. Minus 20. But of course, I can do the enhancer if the opponent tries to mash buttons after that. Thinks that they can punish me. But look, minus 22. And look at that. Look at those startups. I can even do this. Look, I could actually punish with the overhead, because if you're at minus 22, if you're quick enough, you can do the overhead. And the neat thing, even though this is risky, one of the other neat things about both of these moves, as risky as it is, I'm about to show you. I need to get my opponent to stop blocking, though, so I'm switch off the blocks. It'll be a crushing blow if it's a counter or a punish. I have it set to where I do the crushing blows no matter what. I just want to show you what it looks like in the damage. So, and same with this. Unless you catch your opponent matching buttons from a distance, like here, from a mid-distance, try to catch them off guard with the shoulder dash. And look, he can take away a quarter of his life just because of that, just because of that crushing blow. Mortal Kombat, key thing, be unpredictable. Be super unpredictable. Make your opponent play force your opponent to play guessing games with frame advantage and all that. That's one of the important things in Mortal Kombat. If you're too predictable, opponent can easily figure it out and figure out a way to tech you. So, that's one of the key things in Mortal Kombat. Now, let me see. Let's see what else. In fact, I should probably show you the safe moves. Yeah, I've already talked about the punishable ones. I'm going to show you the safe. What am I doing? Hold on. Okay. So this is safe. This is a mid. This is one of the safest moves. So if your opponent, if you want to try to catch your opponent's ducking, if your opponent's predicting a throw, do the enhancer. Obviously, the ice ball, is minus 15. Even the enhanced is minus 15. So you got to be very careful doing that. But if you just do the simple string, the smaller string, it's safe. So here's the thing, it's kind of like football. Do you want to go for the 3 yards and have a guaranteed 3 yards, do something small and have a guaranteed 3 yards, or do you want to risk a 10-yard pass and risk dropping the ball? Because if you land the pass, it's going to be a big reward. You're going to get 10 yards, but if you drop it, you're going to lose it down. You know, you waste first down or you waste second down. It's pretty much the same thing in fighting games if you think about it. Figuratively speaking, of course. And also all depends. How does your opponent react? You have to go with how your opponent reacts. If, let's say, your opponent never punishes this move, keep doing it. Like, keep doing it until your opponent proves that they can actually do something about it. If your opponent finally punishes it, then maybe think twice before doing it. If your opponent regularly punishes it, rarely use it. Only use it once in a while to maybe catch them off guard, or if you're at a frame advantage, a huge frame advantage like this. In fact, you can even do... You have a guaranteed combo if you can land a jump punch. That's a little side note. But point is, only don't do it that often. Don't rely on it that much if the opponent regularly punishes it. If they only occasionally punish it, then maybe use it less and less. In fact, this is what I think about it. Think of it as red light, green light. No, I'm sorry. Green light, yellow light, red light. Green light, obviously, go. If the opponent is literally doing nothing about punishable attacks, then keep doing it. Like Ice Ball, keep doing it. Just keep going. Especially if they keep getting caught in the attacks, keep doing it. If the opponent doesn't do anything about it, just keep doing it. Now, if let's say your opponent figures out how to punish you, then I call the yellow light, which means still maybe try it here and there, try it occasionally. You know, like, I don't know if occasionally is the right term, but the point is, like, still do it, but just don't rely on it. Don't overuse it if you find out they punish. Now, if you find out they regularly punish, then red light, which means stop what you're doing, don't use that, only try to do it, you know, once in a while to maybe try to catch your opponent off guard. Don't, like, rarely use it. So I think that's probably the analogy I should use. The, you know, green light, red light. I'm sorry, green light, yellow light, red light. So I'll show you one of the other safer moves. I'm gonna need to get my opponent to block again. So I'll show you why this is safe. See, notice this is only -7, which means it's totally safe. See, notice, if you notice that the startup, sure, they may be able to, if they have to be super quick, they may be able to do a down 1 on you, but that's just going to put you at a frame disadvantage. It's still pretty safe to use that. You're only going to get, like, unless you have very little life left, it's still going to be pretty safe to do, and the opponent has to be, like, super quick. Not every opponent, you know, is going to be able to punish that quick. Look, see, it's a startup 6. The opponent has, like, 2 frames to do that punish, and even that's just going to put you at a frame disadvantage. So you just want to make sure you don't mash buttons and, you know, get prepared for your turn to attack. So, and if it hits, look at that. I'm going to show you what happens if it hits. Okay, I got it. Why did I put it at auto? Off. If it hits, look, that's 10% of your opponent's life. So that's not bad. I mean, then combine that with a throw. It's like over 20%. That's 20%. Let's see, to do the math. That's close, you know, somewhat close to 25% of the person's life gone. Just by those 2 safe moves. Throw's not 100% safe, but you get my point. So, because the throw, if somebody predicts you're going to throw, they can duck it and then punish you, and, you know, that's more complicated, though. I'm going to explain that later. Either later today or in another stream. I'm going to show you another safe move. Obviously, these simple strings are safe. One of the safest moves, though, I do recommend doing. Excuse me. See, this simple string, look, you're only at, first of all, it backs your opponent up, and you're only at -4. So, it's pretty safe, and your opponent's also going to be forced to back up. So this is pretty safe. So remember, the second attack is a mid. So yeah, obviously this is safe. This is safe. It even puts you at a, well, it even puts you at +1. So this is safe. Only -5. Now I'm going to show you. I think I've already shown you this, but I'm going to show you the frame advantage. Just a little review. You'll be at plus frames if you land that attack successfully. This is also plus frame. I mean, this alone, just this kick alone will put you at, what I put you at 2. And look at this. Here's a way you can set yourself up for a mix-up. If you block your opponent, if I'm not block. If your opponent blocks you like this, look, you're on -2. Catch. If you're close enough, try to catch them off guard with the low. It's very, especially if your opponent tries to, you know, change their distance with you. Try to catch them off guard with that, and you can get a good combo. See, the ice ball, whether you use enhanced or no enhanced, it's not going to be safe. It's going to be -15 or -16 depending on the distance. Let's see what happens if you do it at a distance. Well, obviously it's safer if you do it at a distance, but the closer you are, the more risky it is. If you're right in front of the opponent's face, it's going to be -15 or -16. Though your opponent can obviously punish you. So, ice ball is definitely something. If you notice in tournaments, I always use ice ball as zoning, because look how safe it is. Sure, it can be blocked. Here's a big difference, though. One particular thing I know I never said is that the enhanced ice ball cannot be ducked. If you notice, the ice ball is a high. The enhanced ice ball, though, is a mid, which means your opponent cannot duck it. So if, let's say, you can, one of the good ways you can get a free combo. This is you know, one of the tricks I like to use. I'm sure you've seen me do this at tournaments before, but I'm going to show you the details. I got my notification from my next opponent, so I cannot talk that much longer. But I'm going to show you the difference, though. What am I doing? Hold on. So off and then duck. There we go. So your opponent's ducking, right? Let's say your opponent is not blocking because does not want to give chip damage. Ice balls, in particular, do give chip damage if they're blocked. So some people say, I probably shouldn't get chip damage and just block. Catch them off guard with a mid, and you can actually get some good damage. And look at this. That's 30% of your opponent's life gone, just like that. So that's a little strategy. But I would explain more, but I can't talk anymore because I can't explain anymore for now because I have to face my next opponent. I just got the notification, so I'm going to join the match right now. Alright, joining now. Here's my opponent. Alright, I'm muting the mic so I can focus on the match.
Sub-Zero. Spawn. Sea of Blood. Round 1, fight. Round 2, fight.
We're not finished.
Finish him. Spawn wins.
The Nether Realm will not fall easily.
Show me how to bring it down.
Only if you can keep up with me.
Round 1, fight. Round 2, fight.
For mercy.
Get up.
Final round, fight. Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Spawn. Black Market Alley. Round 1, fight. 2, fight. Sub-Zero wins.
Fight, 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 fight.
Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero. The Hourglass.
Grandfather, you defeat me to earn my mantle. You honor me with your combat.
Round 1. Fight.
All right. One moment, please. Alright, so back to practice mode. Alright, hold on. Why is my opponent doing this? Oh wait, this is not practice mode. What am I doing? This was local mode. So. Alright, so.
Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero. Black Market Alley.
Alright, so I need to get my opponent to stop doing that. Alright. Alright, perfect. So I already told you how throws work, but I'm gonna explain it again. So this is how to break out of throws. So when your opponent grabs you, you have to press either 1 or 2. Here's the problem, though, is that you really only have one chance to break out of a throw. If you press 1 and 2 together, it's not going to work. You have to press one or the other. There are 2 types of throws, and 1 or 2, they break out of the respective throws. You know, if you had 2 chances to break out of the throws, then, you know, it would make more sense, but you're basically having to guess. So I'm going to show you what this means right now. So, notice how I pressed 2. That was a forward throw, and I pressed 2 to break out of it. But if I press 1, and look, escape failed, which means I'm going to be vulnerable to a crushing blow if he does the reverse throw. Now here's a way, if I'm predicting a throw, here's a way. This is why throws are not 100% safe to do, because if let's pretend I'm predicting a throw. So one thing I could land the crushing blow uppercut, which look what kind of damage that can do. In fact, let's do something crazy. Let's say I have a let's just say I'm in this situation. A person tries to throw me. I don't have the crushing blow activated yet, right? Let's say I take that. I have the Axis inflatable, right? Let's take a look and let's see how much damage that's going to get. So in general, look at this. That's crazy. That's 476 damage. Think about that. That is almost half of your opponent's life. So if you're kind of low on life, like a Sub-Zero, I highly recommend, you know, if you get the chance to try a crushing blow uppercut. Remember, each crushing blow for every move can only be used once, but I highly recommend trying the crushing blow uppercut if you get the chance, because you can, if you have access to the fatal blow and that crushing blow, you can take almost half of your opponent's life away. So think about it. If they have like less than 475 points left, that's going to be like a guaranteed kill. You know, obviously they can do a breakaway, but, you know, breakaways are hard to access because they need to have both defense meters activated for that. But it's definitely worth a try, because that can give you huge damage. But even if you don't have access to the crushing blow, you can still get a good combo if you duck it and rise up. You can still get some good damage. Look, that's still a third of your opponent's life. This is why it's important to do the mid. If, let's say, your opponent is ducking it, remember, you can only duck a throw. You can't duck and block because the throw's going to connect. Then you have to do a 50-50 break, which is basically luck. And obviously, throws can be whiff punished. That's pretty obvious, but I figure I should say it anyways. So I'll get my opponent to stop doing that. So let's say my opponent is saying, oh, he's probably going to grab because I'm overusing the grab, and decides to what shouldn't be what my and decides to just duck it. Says, oh, my opponent's gonna grab. Even if I'm afraid of advantage, and I go for a grab. One moment, please. Sorry about that. So, let's say my opponent then ducks after blocking, saying, oh, he's probably gonna do a grab. Use the mid. Sub-Zero's mid is this. This is what Sub-Zero's mid looks like. Start up mid. And the best part about that is that if you're like almost 100% sure, you can't be 100% sure of what the opponent's going to do, but if you're very sure, if you're really anticipating that your opponent is going to try to avoid your throw by ducking, you could actually then try to do a follow-up with the ice ball, and you can get some good damage. So I'll show you what it looks like. So you can take about a quarter of your opponent's life, which is pretty good. Of course, you still want to be careful using the ice ball. If you're kind of iffy, if you're wondering if your opponent's going to do that, you know, you could still do back to 1 because you're still going to take away 10% of your opponent's life. It's still, you know, it's still safe to use. But if you're willing to take the chance, if you want to risk it, especially if you find out your opponent is just like ducking, especially if your opponent doesn't start blocking, just try to catch them off guard with the mid and do the follow-up. And look, that's almost a third or 30% of the opponent's life. This is a lot slower, though it can be interrupted, so this is also another mid you can do. It is good frame advantage. Though the problem is it doesn't follow up to a combo, it only leads to a crushing blow, but remember, crushing blows can only happen once per move. That's why I strongly recommend you don't try wasting it, because you might be sorry at the end. And again, if you notice, sometimes if your opponent has 2 meters, your opponent's frozen, use a jump 2 because your opponent can't do a breakaway until the opponent is in the air. So you can at least get some good damage before your opponent does a breakaway. And you may even kill the opponent before they have a chance. I'm actually going to do an experiment. There's one particular thing I don't 100% know. Let me try to do that faster. So if I'm quick enough, I guess. I don't know if that's distance. No, I did it too fast. I can't figure it out. Alright. I don't know if I actually ducked the mid. Let me see. Yeah, I can. I think it just depends on speed. I don't know if it was ducking it or if it was, or if the sweep attack, the sweep kick is just faster. But I do recommend the sweep kick sometimes. Back 4, that's been an OG move since Mortal Kombat 1 in 1992. Because if your opponent is, you know, is being a little bit reckless, just catch them off guard. See, if you don't want to do a string, just do this good old sweep attack. And let's see what happens if they block the sweep attack. Let's see what frame advantage, disadvantage you're at. And it's pretty safe. Well, both of them are safe. It's only -4, so... But the big difference is that this is going to keep you at a distance. So doing the sweep attack, if your opponent doesn't have that much life left, it can make a huge difference. And look, the chip damage. Look at the big difference between the chip damage. And you have to remember, here's a big thing, is that the chip damage can kill in Mortal Kombat. You know, flawless, they could obviously flawless block it, but you can flawless block just about any, like, moves that's not a grab. But it's just really hard to do it, so. So if you don't flawless block. Look at that chip damage. You could do that, but if you're just trying to do something quick, especially if your opponent doesn't have that much life left, look. You can get chip damage, or you could do this, get chip damage if your opponent is just about to die. I'm gonna quickly check to see what the time is, because I know I'm gonna have to face my next opponent soon. Yeah. Again, the problem with Mortal Kombat is that, you know, there's a lot less stuff to teach in the game, because, you know, there's only so much in the game. Tekken Mortal Kombat is a lot less complicated than Tekken, so in return there's not really that much to teach. I can only teach so much, so I'm trying to figure out what else I can teach. Obviously a little review. Forward 4 is a good, as long as the opponent doesn't interrupt it or flawless block it. Because look at that. +4 for a block that's in Mortal Kombat, that's pretty high to be at +4. And plus, if your opponent gets caught by this move twice in a row, you get a crushing blow, which is good. And look, if you notice, see this? The sweep attack, if you want to try to quickly catch your opponent with a low, this good old sweep attack has some good distance. Let's see. Let's do a little experiment. See? The sweep attack has better distance. So if let's say you're trying to get tip damage, that's good. Wouldn't be a good idea to just do this because the first attack can't land with that kind of distance. See? Alright, let's see. Okay. One particular combo I want to try, though. Yeah, again, you know, to be honest, I'm trying to figure out what to teach right now. I know there's some other stuff to teach, but I can't recall at the moment. Should probably take some notes. I might do that later in future streams. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do either. By the way, that would never work in a real match. Never get a crushing blow. I just have the crushing blow set where they activate no matter what. Okay. 450. So that's another way. If let's say you have to be at a corner, of course. That's not going to work if you're not at a corner, but if you catch your opponent with an uppercut, you don't have a fatal blow, try this crushing blow, which is off of a 8-hit combo if you still have access to it. That's another way to get, you know, like 450 damage. Alright, let's see, let's see. Another thing in Mortal Kombat, this is a useful move because it's good distance. It's good if you try to your opponent. You can catch your opponent not blocking at a distance if you land this or this because it's a mid. You have to remember back one is a high, so it can be ducked. So just be a little careful there. Alright. I might get Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not sure if I will. I'll think about it. I think I'm just gonna wait because I know I'm gonna get my notification from my next opponent in about literally 1 minute, exactly 1 minute now. So I'll just kind of chill here. Hold on. Alright. It's now 5 o'clock, so I should get my opponent announcement any minute. In fact, I'm going to check right now. I want to see if there's any leftover stages. Or no, not stages, matches that have not been completed yet. Oh, nope. It says 0, so I should get my next opponent any minute. I don't know what the delay is. Just quickly checking something. Oh, here it is. Perfect. I'll join my opponent right now. Alright, I'm gonna join right now. Well, I'm gonna wait about 1 minute. In fact, I'm doing it now. It's already 5:02. I want to make sure we get this done before 5:30. So I'm gonna message my opponent asking if he's gonna trying to join. Alright, I just messaged my opponent. Let's see. Alright. If my opponent doesn't respond in like 10 minutes or joins in 10 minutes, I'm going to report an absence. Again, we got until like 5:30 to complete this set. Yeah, just waiting for my opponent to join. Yeah, my opponent's not been joining. Hey, I'm actually going to be AFK for just a minute or two. Just gotta quickly take care of something. My opponent can just reply to me. I'll just say please reply to my opponent, and he can reply to me if he's here. But I don't want to. If he joins the match, I don't want to be like AFK during the match. I'm just gonna withdraw from joining right now because I gotta be AFK for a minute or two.
Sub-Zero, Kotal Khan, Cyber Lin Kuei assembled. Round 1, fight! Give me your heart. Round 2, fight. Finish him. Kotal Khan wins. Round 1, fight! Round 2, fight! Finish him. Total Khan wins.
Hi, I am at a double elimination Swiss. I was able to win my first two sets. I just lost my third set. I'm still in there, so this is double elimination. But I do have to do something real quick, so I'll be back in about 15 minutes when my next opponent is set. Okay, I am back. If I do post this on YouTube, I'm not sure if I will. If I do post on YouTube, then I'm going to definitely cut this part out. That literally nothing happens. So, well, I should be getting my opponent announcement pretty soon. All right.
So I was like, okay, I'll just do this and then wait.
All right. Yeah, usually I would show a little lesson or do a rank match, but my opponent is going to be like announced any minute. Whoever joined, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I can't see who joined though. But yeah, my opponent, next opponent is going to be announced like any minute. Right now I'm at 2-1. It's a double elimination, so I can still get some good wins. All right. Yeah, let me check. It's just about 5:30 right now, so my opponent should be announced anytime. Whoops, hold on. Might hear a little echo there. A little mistake that happened. Yeah, it's 5:30 now, so any second I should get an announcement. I normally would give some lessons on Mortal Kombat and all that, but I'm going to be facing my opponents, and here he is. So I'm going to join the match. I'll do my best here. So my opponent joins sooner than later. Here he is. Perfect. Alright, let's get started. Alright. Again, thank you for whoever joined the stream. Thank you for the support. I am, to make sure I can fully focus on the game, though, I am going to be muting the mic. Looks like we're going to have a mirror match. Yep, we are. Alright.
Round one. Fight! Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Round one, fight. Round two, fight. Finish him. Sub-Zero wins.
Alright, good games. Alright. That went well. Yeah, once I figured out the rhythm, I was able to defeat the opponent. Good player though. Had to really study and figure out how to beat the opponent, so GG's.
Scorpion.
Yeah, let's see which one. Oh, the Scorpion.
Lost Hive, the Titan.
I'm gonna try to get flawless blocking. Want to make sure flawless blocking is the kind of thing where I want to make sure I get done regularly. Then do the follow up with a wake up. See, it's one thing to do the flawless blocking, but to be able to time the wake up right is something else. Sicario, shout out to Sicario. He's following my Twitch channel, but he taught me how to get into the rhythm of flawless blocking because he said that you should start out with the down one and try to get used to flawless blocking that before I consider any other move. That's like he said that's one of the best ways to help me get into the rhythm of flawless blocking regularly, followed by the wake up attack. And it's important because, you know, in flawless blocking you can like get some really good damage if you do the flawless blocking wake up attack. You obviously have to time it right. It's not easy. So let's see if I can follow this with the wake up attack now. See. Now let's see if they're at a corner I do this. Whoops. Oh, snap. That was a little too much to ask for. Whoops. Look at that, that's almost a third of your life gone just by flawless blocking. It's crazy. Oh, snap. Because the thing is that to do a wake-up attack while rising, you have to press, while you're on the ground, you have to press up and 2 at the same time. Whereas if you flawless block, you then have an opportunity to do a wake-up attack, up and 2 at the same time, or up and 3, but up and 2 if you want a combo. It even says if you did it right, block, attack, punish. That's one of the really good things about Mortal Kombat. I really like the fact that it actually tells you whether you punish something or not. Because you see, as good as let's see, wait a second, I was about to say something about Tekken, but I think Tekken does do that. Tekken does the same thing. You see, what I really like about Tekken is that in practice mode, you know, it actually tells you whether you punished or countered or something. So, because sometimes you're like, wait a second, did I actually punish that opponent, or was the opponent just smashing buttons? Or the opponent failed to block. You know, or was the opponent too reckless, or did he actually punish it? So I like the fact that it actually tells you whether you punished it or not. Even, you know, and in Tekken they do that. Now, what's really interesting is that even in the game itself, they tell you whether you successfully broke the throw or not. They tell you whether you did a punish. They tell you if it's a counter, even inside the game itself. So you can actually tell inside the game, not outside of practice mode. Whereas in Tekken, they don't really do that. So in Mortal Kombat 11, in a way, it's besides the fact that there are a lot less moves to memorize, obviously, than Tekken, a lot less characters to memorize. It's actually easier to figure out your opponent because of these icons. See, punish, counter, and because it says so in the match. Yeah, I really got to figure out what else to do when I'm not doing the tournaments in these Mortal Kombat streams, because I'm honestly, if I'm not just being straight up honest, I'm running out of stuff to teach, honestly. I'm actually having to think, what should I teach next? Whereas Tekken 7, you know, I'm not even close to running out of stuff to teach yet. But knock on wood, the good news is that Mortal Kombat 12 is not too far from now. They say it's going to be coming out later this year, so it'll probably be either fall or winter 2023. So on the bright side, I'll have a brand new game to stream. Whereas in Mortal Kombat, I'm not really sure. I'll have to figure it out. Maybe I could get some people to join a Discord and we could like discuss games. I don't know. Or I could just do rank matches. Maybe rank matches might be a more ideal option, but I'll think about it. I'll cross the bridge when I actually officially run out of stuff to teach you. I could teach Scorpion, but I don't really know him that well. Maybe I could teach Scorpion as well, how to play Scorpion, because I kind of know how to play him. See, that's another thing. Besides flawless blocking, if your opponent is just spamming this move, overusing this, see, you're at, do the math, you're at, listen, look, you are, he's at -6. This, look, notice that that's a minus, that is a 13 frame startup. So what's 13 minus 6? That's 7. So if anything, we'll trade if he does it fast enough. Let's try this. Oh, never mind. If he keeps spamming it, never mind. I was wrong about that. My bad. Better do that. I'm gonna test something out here. I've never tried this before. Nope, that didn't work. Yeah, best either flawless block it or just do the poke. Yeah, Sicario's right. Flawless blocking a poke is not really super difficult to do if you get used to the rhythm. There we go. Oh snap, that was stupid. Oh, there's some kind of brutal combo I have in mind. I don't know if this is actually going to connect, but I'm going to do it anyways. Oh, that's right, I already did the fade up blow, silly me. Alright, let's try this again. Oh no. Let's see if we can get a spawn option. Practice options. Wait, where's the startup? No, it's not it. Reset distance, reset position, right. There we go. So now I won't have to keep backing my opponent into the corner every time we reset. Perfect. Alright. Oh, too bad. This might be a little unrealistic. We'll see. Oh, it's too bad. Not easy. I don't even know if I can connect it. This is just experimenting right now. Gotta time it right. It's one thing to know it, another thing to time it. Ah, not easy. Oh, too bad. I don't know if I'm doing that too slowly or if it's just not possible to connect that. Might be a little too OP, to be honest. Maybe if I do it off a kick. Oh, no. Now, realistically, I don't think that's gonna work. Let's see. I think that was 475, right? Yeah, that was, well, close enough. 476, but close enough. Got the basic. I'm at 10 advantage, so that'd be easy to get something done. Perfect. A lot of people say that this is way too OP. This is like way too broken, and I kind of see what they're coming from because this is kind of, you know, cheap. You know, the 6-frame startup. Come on, but by the end of the day, it can be teched. You know, if you know how to tech it, you can, you know, again, you can fight fire with fire. They try if they put themselves at if you block it, and you're at a frame. You're at a frame advantage because you block it. Just land it on them, and especially the fact, even though it is not easy to do, to state it nicely, you can still flawless block it and then get a combo. In fact, I'm going to try something. I want to see what happens if you flawless block to whoops, what am I doing? Flawless block to wake up attack, and then to a fatal blow. I want to see how much damage that gives. Never tried that. I'm getting used to it. Let's see. Moment of truth. Oh, it's gonna be a lot. That's 350. That's more than a third of the life gone, just because of a flawless block. losing the rhythm now. Most players are not who do that are not going to do it like that. So let me try this again. I'm losing the rhythm. Aye. At least I have the idea, though. There we go. I gotta do that regularly, though. The problem is if you do false block too late, you can get launched. Depending what the move is, obviously. Alright, let's see. Alright, we got 3 more minutes left. I think I've taught him. I think I'm gonna get ready to face my next opponent. Hold on. Alright. I'll be back in a minute or two. Just gotta quickly do something.
Fight. I'll save the day.
Alright, I am back. Let's see. Looks like I just got my notification from the next opponent, so that was perfect timing. I'm gonna make sure I join. I'll wait a little bit before I message the opponent. Alright. Yeah, I don't know why my opponent's not joining. I'll wait about, like, let's see, probably less than a minute before I join. No, not join, before I message him, so. In fact, I'm going to check. I'm going to get the message ready. So, did you join? No? Okay. Hey, whoever joined, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Sorry about the delay. Opponent has not been joining the match, so I'm going to message him to see what's going on. I know you can't see it on your end. Opponent just replied, so. Oh, we just joined. I didn't even know. Alright, he's here. I'm going to mute the mic so I can focus on the match.
RoboCop. Sub-Zero.
One thing I'll say, good luck, we're here to have fun, alright? Whoever wins, it's an experience, alright? So, good luck to you too.
Did your creators extinguish your soul?
Despite their best efforts, no.
You may yet still be worthy of the Lin Kuei.
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Was your last.
Sub-Zero wins.
Brutality was not intentional. It's automatic if I put that move in a combo.
Total Khan. Special Forces Desert Command.
Leadership requires strength.
But only cowards lead with fear.
You confuse me for Shao Kahn.
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight. Sub-Zero wins.
Alright. Good games. Alright, that takes care of that. So that's a total of 4 opponents beaten so far. I'm at 4-1, total of 5 been played, so since it's a double elimination Swiss, I've completed 5 matches, so no matter what, let's say I happen to win like the next 3 sets, it's going to be over no matter what. That's how the Swiss works. If I lose one more set though, I'm gone. So, but at least I'm hanging around here a little bit longer. I made it this far. So, knock on wood. Knock on wood. Alright. Sorry, I got distracted by something. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure what to do. I think I could probably... I think this transition, instead of a lesson, will probably be discussion. So, you know, I'm sure people watching it, you know, it's been some time since a little bit of time since the Mortal Kombat 12 teaser was announced. So, my prediction: a lot of people are predicting that there's going to be some kind of PlayStation event in May. I don't know if that will happen, but I have to say, I'm even going to say this: I'm 100% sure that Mortal Kombat 12 will have an official trailer no later than the Combo Breaker tourney at the end of May. If I'm going to be honest, I will be 100% surprised if there's no Mortal Kombat 12 trailer. And I'm pretty sure, I'm fairly sure that Mortal Kombat 11, I highly doubt that Mortal Kombat 12 is going to be released in the summer. There's, you know, not enough time to do promotion, advertisement, and all that stuff. So, I'm 99% sure that it's not, Mortal Kombat 12 will not be launched during the summertime. And not to mention the fact that Mortal Kombat 11 is going to be the Mortal Kombat game featured at EVO, not you know, Mortal Kombat 12. So, speaking of EVO, I'm pretty sure that Mortal Kombat 12 is going to be announced. Well, not, what am I saying? Not announced. There's going to be a trailer, like a big time trailer at EVO. So, you know, the big question is, like, what's the story going to be? You know, is Mortal Kombat 12, like, really another reboot? Because if you think about it, when you saw the trailer, you were kind of using the same, like, time machine, you know, time machine trailer, like the time machine vibes, you know, Mortal Kombat 11 had. So, is it, like, kind of like a sequel to Mortal Kombat 11, or, like, a reboot? We don't know. So, and who's also going to be the villain in Mortal Kombat 12? Like, the thing is, we don't really know what it's really going to be. And quite frankly, we're not even sure that if it's even, like, we literally have not seen any gameplay, so it could be a 3D game for all we know. You know, I mean, if you think about it, do the math. Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. I don't really count Mortal Kombat Trilogy. That's basically a super enhanced version of Mortal Kombat 3. So then besides, it's not really considered a main entry. So I'm focused on main entry. So we've had Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3. That's 3 games, and then we had Mortal Kombat 9, 10, 11. That's 6 games. Now when it comes to 3D games, we had Mortal Kombat 4. That's 1. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat 5. So that's 2. Mortal Kombat 6, 3. Mortal Kombat 7, 4. We have Mortal Kombat 8. That's 5. So think about it. Before Mortal Kombat 11, half of the Mortal Kombat games, main entry Mortal Kombat games, were 3D fighting. And in my opinion, some people may disagree with me. I think Mortal Kombat, like, you know, the 3D fighting, like, was really fun, especially in Mortal Kombat Deception. I think Mortal Kombat Deception did a great job with the 3D fighting game mechanics. That's just my personal opinion. So, I think it's possible that maybe in the near future, if not this game, they might bring Mortal Kombat 12 into 3D, and I'd definitely be willing to give it a shot. Or maybe a Mortal Kombat cross Tekken. You know, they could do that. They could do Tekken and Mortal Kombat crossover and maybe make Mortal Kombat 3D there. But to be honest, like, if you're asking what my prediction is they're probably going to make it, still keep it as a 2D fighting game, because, you know, it sounds like they're going with it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. You know, Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 10, Mortal Kombat 11, they've been like really successful games. Like, all 3 games have been successful, and they've all been 2D fighting games. Whereas, you know, in the 3D era, you know, like, it's like, let's see, we had Deadly Alliance, which was, well, Mortal Kombat 4 was not really that well received. Some people hated it, some people liked it. I think it was a good game. You know, it's one of the weaker games in Mortal Kombat series, one of the weakest, but I still think it was good. Then we had Deadly Alliance and Deception. Those were like the only 2 Mortal Kombat games that were like really praised, especially Deception. Even that, it didn't really, you know, it didn't like sell super well. You know what I mean? Like the Reboot Trilogy did. See, even the 3D games that sold the best and were the most popular, they sold nowhere near as good they still nowhere near as well as they did with the Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 10, and Mortal Kombat 11. And not to mention the fact that, like, you know, it's like 3 out of 5 of the 3D Mortal Kombat games were controversial. You know, a lot of people did not like them. I mean, I don't think Mortal Kombat, in my opinion, you know, when it comes to the main entries, there's not a single, like, actual bad Mortal Kombat game. Sure, there are some weak Mortal Kombat games, like, you know, Armageddon, DC Universe 4, but I don't think, even then, I don't think those games are, like, actually bad. But the problem is there were a lot of people who hated Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Mortal Kombat vs. DC. A lot of people, like, hated that. So, I'm not sure if the developers are ready to take that chance with 3D era of Mortal Kombat. What I think could happen, though, is that they could bring some of the 3D era characters, some new characters were introduced during that time, and bring it into Mortal Kombat 12. That's something they can do. I believe that the only character who was actually introduced, there have only been 2 characters who were actually introduced during the 3D era Mortal Kombat, were introduced into... I'm sorry, I'm talking too many things at once. So there were 2 characters who were introduced in the 3D era, you know, Mortal Kombat 4 through 8, and actually made it into the Mortal Kombat reboot trilogy. And that was Kenshi. Obviously, Kenshi was a DLC in Mortal Kombat 9. He was also a launch character in Mortal Kombat X, even though he was not in Mortal Kombat 11, so he made it. He was introduced in Mortal Kombat 5, aka Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. And the only other character was Fujin. He's basically the wind god. So he was also introduced, I think, in Mortal Kombat 4. That was the first game he was in. And then they finally brought him back into Mortal Kombat Armageddon, but they brought literally every Mortal Kombat character back in that game, you know, in Mortal Kombat 7, and he really made it back into Mortal Kombat 11 as a DLC. And if you're being, like, super technical, I would say the Joker, because if you think about it, Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe is considered, Mortal Kombat 8 is considered our main entry. And even though Joker is obviously more of a guest character, he was still introduced in a 3D era fighting game, which was Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Mortal Kombat was still 3D fighting game at that time. So, you know, like, essentially only 2 have been, but if you're being, like, super technical and count Joker, then 3 characters. But come to think of it, it's like 3 out of what, like 30 or 40 or 50? I got to recount, like, but like, I think 30 is a little bit nuts. So basically, only 3 out of, like, 30 to 40 3D characters were actually brought back in the reboot trilogy. And I should let, you know, I mean, that itself, you know, shows that a lot of these characters who were introduced in the 3D era, like, were not really that popular. Obviously, not enough fans wanted them back for them to come back, you know what I mean? With the exception of Kenshi and Fujin. And even Fujin, you know, think about it. Fujin didn't even make it into the launch version of Mortal Kombat 11. You know, he was DLC. He was not introduced until a year after Mortal Kombat 11 launched. He was in the Aftermath DLC. Kenshi was brought back into Mortal Kombat 9. He was DLC. So Kenshi, think about it. Kenshi, who was introduced into Mortal Kombat 5, the 3D game, he's literally the only character from that era who actually made it to a Mortal Kombat reboot trilogy game, at launch. And he was only a launch character in Mortal Kombat X, aka Mortal Kombat 10. So, you know, I think I've talked enough about this. So, I think, you know, I think, though, Mortal Kombat 12, we're kind of at a time I think maybe we could try more 3D characters, because there are some 3D characters, I think, who would do well if they remade the character and all that. So, we'll see what they want to do. Me, I'm definitely going to try Mortal Kombat 12 no matter what. I'll give it a shot. Also, Rain was introduced in Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, so he's technically a 2D character. I don't think I left anyone out. So let's see when my next opponent is. Oh, it's still 9 minutes before I face my next opponent. One thing I really do hope they do is I really hope they bring back the cyborg characters. I always thought that the cyborg characters, especially how they connect with the Lin Kuei, how the Lin Kuei basically turned from, you know, ninjas, quote unquote. I know they're not really ninjas, but quote ninjas, quote unquote, to like robots, quote unquote. I think it's kind of interesting, you know. Think about it. How often in a story have you actually heard about something like that? So I think it was really interesting how they turned the people into cyborgs and all that. But the problem is that these characters like Sector and Cyrax, I know they were introduced in Mortal Kombat 3. They made it. I think they made it. I don't think they made it to the launch version of Mortal Kombat 4. So I don't think they made it to Mortal Kombat 4. No, they did not. They made it into like Mortal Kombat Gold, which is basically like a enhanced version, but I don't really count that. So a cyborg character they were in 3, Mortal Kombat 5. Mortal Kombat 6 because we had Smoke as a cyborg, Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat 7, then 9 and 10. So yeah, we've had them in a fair amount of games, but it's a shame though that that Sector and Cyrax were in Mortal Kombat 11, but they were not playable. I thought, you know, I think what we could have at least gotten was maybe a Triborg character. Like in Mortal Kombat X, I honestly thought Triborg was the best DLC character, to be honest. I really liked Triborg. He was a really cool DLC character. And it's a shame that he never made it back to Mortal Kombat 11. You know, he, like, that character, the Triborg essentially made it back as a unplayable character, and I thought eventually they would make him playable in the DLC, but obviously never happened. So I'm really, really hoping they bring back at least Triborg into Mortal Kombat 12, or if anything, they could just add Sector and Cyrax again, or they could bring Smoke back in his cyborg form, you know. I also hope that, I'm fairly sure that Noob Saibot, aka B-Han, he's basically Sub-Zero's undead brother, I really hope he's going to make it back into Mortal Kombat 12. I really do hope so, because if he does, I really hope that he'll have a bigger role. I mean, in Mortal Kombat 11, sure, he was in Mortal Kombat 11, but you know, in the story, he didn't really have that much to do in the story. So I think it was a real shame. I really think there's huge potential for the plots between, you know, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Noob Saibot. I really think that with the right writers, they can really flesh out those stories. It's a really great story, you know. I like the nickname I give is like the Mishima Saga of Mortal Kombat. So anyways, let's see how much time we have. Just chill and rest a little bit here. If anyone has any questions, you can feel free to ask me in the Twitch chat. I'm just going to kind of chill, relax, get ready for my next opponent. So I was just adjusting the mic. I got 3 viewers. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I'm just waiting for my next opponent. I don't know if you heard me discussing, you know, Mortal Kombat. I was just kind of talking to the mic about Mortal Kombat 12 and all that, what I'm hoping to see and all that. I would discuss more, but I have a new opponent coming up, so. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 12, I'm really hoping they bring back these cyborg characters. I thought Triborg in Mortal Kombat X was one of the best characters. It's a shame that he actually, you know, Cyrax and Sector, the cyborg characters, that they did make it into, you know, Mortal Kombat 11, but they were not playable. They were in the story mode, but you couldn't play as them. And I thought they would eventually bring them as a DLC, but obviously, needless to say, that it never happened. So, oh, thank you for all the support. I appreciate it. Wow, 4 viewers. Dang. Thank you. Appreciate it. And perfect timing. I'm about to face my next opponent in about 3 minutes, so y'all came at the right time. Yeah, you know, Mortal Kombat, in Mortal Kombat 12, I'm kind of hoping that they bring back the some of the 3D era characters. But when I say 3D era, I'm referring to Mortal Kombat 4 through 8. So I hope they bring back some of the 3D era characters. I was about to say, you know, I think a lot of the 3D characters had really good potential story-wise, but they just were never fleshed out. And because most of the 3D era games were not like, I don't think any Mortal Kombat game was horrible, but a lot of the 3D era games were kind of controversial. A lot of people hated them. Even Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Mortal Kombat 5, Mortal Kombat 6, Mortal Kombat Deception, even those two games, which are the most popular 3D fighting games in Mortal Kombat, even they had some controversy. Even they didn't sell as well, nowhere near as well as the Mortal Kombat reboot trilogy. You know, if you think about it, I actually made a little mistake earlier. I said something wrong. I left out Boraicho. I think if you think about it, the reboot trilogy, I think we've only had like 3 out of, like, I think 30 3D era characters make it into the Mortal Kombat reboot trilogy. We had Kenshi, we had Boraicho, and we had who was the third one? Fujin. But think about it, we only had Kenshi. We only had one launch character, and that was Kenshi in Mortal Kombat 10. So, you know, I can understand why the developers may be hesitant to add in those characters, because the 3D era was very polarized. Some people really liked it, some people really hated it. So, I'm among the population that liked the 3D era of Mortal Kombat, especially Mortal Kombat Deception. I mean, I do believe that there's some weaker Mortal Kombat games. You know, I do think Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat 8, and Mortal Kombat 7 are like the weakest, but I don't think they're bad at all. I don't think they're legitimately bad. I think they're still good games in some ways. So meanwhile, I'm going to be facing my next opponent soon. And also, we technically, if you think about it, super technical, we technically had 4 3D characters, because Mortal Kombat 8, which is Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, was still set in the 3D era when they launched that game, and the Joker was in it. So they brought back Joker in Mortal Kombat 11. So if you bring super technical, that was a 3D era character making it into Mortal Kombat 11. But even he was only a DLC. We've only had like one character who made it to a game at launch. I did forget to mention Boraicho when I was discussing this earlier. He made it into Mortal Kombat X as a DLC. Again, he was not launched, he was a DLC character. And I don't count it. I don't count the story mode. I count gameplay. I know some 3D era characters made it into Mortal Kombat X in gameplay. Oh, I forgot to mention Shinnok. How could I leave Shinnok out? Silly me. See, I was like 4, but still very small amounts. And wait, Quan Chi was introduced in Mortal Kombat 4, so yeah, I left them out too. So the point is that still very few. Mortal Kombat 4 was supposed to be technically 3D, quote unquote, but it really wasn't. It's still like it was like in limbo between 2D and 3D. It was kind of weird, but still a fun game. What is it? A game I would recommend for FGC? You know, competitive gaming? Absolutely not. It was a mess, competitive wise. Yeah, silly me. How could I forget Shinnok and Quan Chi? They were introduced in Mortal Kombat 4. Let's see, who's... Oh, thank you for the support, Danny God. I appreciate it. I've won, I've gotten 3... Let's see, I've gotten I can't believe it. I've lost track. Silly me, I've lost track of how many I've played. Let's see. Let me do the math here. 4:30, 5:30. I've won, I think, 4 games so far. 4 games. I've lost 1 game. It's a double elimination Swiss, so unfortunately that means if I lose this one, let's hope it doesn't happen. Thank you, MCM. I appreciate it. Alright, let's see who's talking. Thank you, Danny God. Meanwhile, I don't know why my opponent is not joining. If he doesn't join in about a minute, I'm going to message him asking what's going on, and if he doesn't reply, I'm going to report him as an absent, which means I'll win by default. So I know I'm going to view the opponent's profile, so I'll be able to message him right now. That's why you can't see anything right now, but you can hear me on the mic. So I know you're seeing only a blue screen right now. His profile says he's not even playing Mortal Kombat 11, so I'm going to... So I'll give him like 10 minutes to respond. We have to like finish this by 7, otherwise an admin will probably just assign 1 random winner. That's not really fair. I'm ready to play the match. Why should I randomly lose? So that's why I'm reporting the absence to make sure I get the win. So yeah, we'll just have to chill here. It's one of the good things about single-player games is that I don't have to worry about these slow times. Well, I think this is a good another discussion. So I think in Mortal Kombat 12, I'm 100% sure it's going to be announced at Combo Breaker, if not earlier, especially since they've already released a teaser. I will be like 100% surprised if it's not announced. Well, if there's no trailer at Combo Breaker. It's already been announced. There's been a teaser, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a trailer in Mortal Kombat. There's going to be a Mortal Kombat 12 trailer in Combo Breaker. I'd be 100% surprised if that doesn't happen. I highly doubt it will be released. It will launch this summer though, because we're having Mortal Kombat 11 at EVO. So my prediction will be either fall or winter 2023. I'm pretty sure at EVO that Mortal Kombat 11 there'll be another trailer there too to hype up everything. But I say Mortal Kombat 11, I meant to say Mortal Kombat 12. You know, as far as we know, they might actually move to 3D era again. They might actually have 3D gameplay, but I doubt that. I don't think they're ready to take that chance yet. So let's see. Well, my opponent is not even replying to me right now, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm gonna quickly check something. Let's see. Yeah, it just says online on PS4. One of my opponent's AFK. Well, yeah, he has like officially 10 minutes to join before I mark him absent. All right. By the way, Fall Guys, I know it's a Mortal Kombat stream. I know I don't really discuss other games, you know, in a stream that often, but you know, Fall Guys is going to be launching. The season 10 is going to be launching in 2 days. Season 10, a lot of people refer to it as free-to-play Season 4. I just call it Season 10. That means the creative stage mode is going to be coming, so I can stream creating my own stages. I'm looking forward to that. And 50 brand new stages in Fall Guys. Can you believe that? I think it's great. Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea what my opponent is doing, so... Oh yeah, quick heads up. Today is May 8th, so I think today or tomorrow, I recommend doing it today if you haven't done it already. If you have a PlayStation Plus membership, I highly recommend adding the PlayStation Plus collection to the library, because then you'll have access to those games as long as you have a PlayStation Plus Essential membership. You'll have free access to those games. And it doesn't take that much effort to put in the library. You could use your own phone to do it as well. And it's free to do it. And to get a PlayStation Plus Essential membership, you only need $60 a year. It's pretty generous considering the fact you get a lot of free games, and the fact you can obviously play online, but you get so many free games as well. So I highly recommend doing that, because I think if you wait until May 9th, maybe even tonight, I recommend doing it now if you haven't done it. If you wait too long, you're not going to be able to add that collection of 20 games into your PlayStation Plus library. You won't have access to it. You'll have to pay to play it, or have a PS Plus Extra membership, which costs more money to play. Another interesting thing about PS Plus Extra is that big difference between PS Plus Essential games and PS Plus Extra and Premium games is that PS Plus Extra games, they're only going to be available for a certain amount of time. Sony at any time can actually remove access to those games. So even if you add a PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium game to your library, if Sony says no, I want to remove it from the PS Plus collection, they can. You can't access that game anymore. Whereas in PS Plus Essential, you have the monthly PS Plus games and the PS Plus collection, which is going to be expiring tomorrow. If you add games into your PS Plus Essential library, you can access it anytime you want, forever. Like those monthly games you have, I always recommend putting them to your library, because then you'll have access to those games anytime you want, obviously if you're a PS Plus member. Yeah, those PlayStation Plus Essential, you have access to it forever, whereas in PlayStation Plus Extra, you only have access to the PlayStation Plus Extra games for a certain amount of time before Sony decides to pull it down. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 is a big example. I remember back in the middle of 2022, Red Dead Redemption 2 was one of the games that actually came with the PlayStation Plus Extra. That's when the tiers of PlayStation Plus membership just launched. But then I would say later into 2022, I think it was in November 2022 or October, they actually removed Red Dead Redemption 2 from the game, from the collection. The PS Plus Extra collection. So even if you already added it to your library, you still got blocked access. But in PlayStation Plus Essential, that collection of games, if you add it to the library now, you'll have access to it anytime you want. You'll never have to worry about it being taken down. See, I know nothing about PC gaming, but when it comes to PlayStation, there's a lot of stuff I know about. Don't get me started on Nintendo. I know nothing about Nintendo gaming, Nintendo Switch, and all that. Don't ask me for help there. Alright, let's see. Yeah, my opponent has not even replied to me, so... yeah, it's 5 minutes, otherwise I'm going to report him absent. In fact, I might just refresh this. Maybe he's trying to join. He should at least reply to me, though. If it said, please reply, so I don't know what's going on. I wonder if the opponent is AFK. I have a question, if anyone can help me. Is there a way to link to actually stream your Discord on PlayStation? Because I was thinking maybe I could invite people to voice chat, maybe discuss things, on the stream with people, kind of like Ronald does on a Discord chat. I'm not 100% familiar with how to do that, so perhaps maybe someone could help me do that in the future. Yeah, my opponent's still not joining. Come on, what are you doing? I might win by default. He has 3 minutes to reply. Why isn't he joining? Come on. You know, the funny thing in Mortal Kombat 11 is that I'm kind of running out of stuff to teach because Mortal Kombat 11 is nowhere near as complicated as Tekken 7. You know, in Tekken 7, I don't think I'm going to be running out of things to teach anytime soon, but Mortal Kombat 11, I'm kind of running out of stuff to teach. Gotta figure it out. Hello, Julio. Hey, how are you doing, Julio? Not yet, Danny God. Danny God, please check your DM. I'd like to. I have a question for you. Hold on, wait for the DM. Alright, I just sent the DM right now. No, he does not. This is how you do it. You know, the big thing is he hasn't even replied to me. He's ghosted me. I've like sent him 2 messages. He hasn't. And if I look at his PlayStation Network account, it says he's not even playing Mortal Kombat 11. He's just online the PS4. So, this is how you join the lobby. You go to the main menu on PlayStation, go to events, find your tournament match, and then you hit join match, and then this is the screen we're supposed to be seeing. I'm supposed to find my opponent right now. If my opponent joined, we'll start the match, but he's not joining. But I'm telling you, the big thing though is that he hasn't even replied to me yet. And PlayStation does tell me if he gets my message or not. Otherwise, if he doesn't accept messages, it just straight up tell me. Let's see. Julio, who are you? Let's see, oh, he might have left already. It says, on my end, it says only 2 of you, so if that's MCM and Danny God, I think Julio might have left. I don't know. Well, worst case scenario, if he starts sending weird messages, I can always ban him from the chat. Obviously don't want robots in here. Yeah, he hasn't. It's been the time. I've given him a lot of time to join, so I'm going to report an absence right now. Well, I'm going to leave the match. I'm going to report I'm absent right now. So I'm going to win by default. If he doesn't reply to this, you know, he can protest it and say, no, I was here, and then we can play. But if he doesn't even respond to that, I'm going to say I won by a no-show. If he doesn't reply to that, then I'll win by default. So I haven't officially won yet. The admins are going to take a look at it. But meanwhile, I'm going to go to practice mode. Let me quickly check something first. Hold on. Hold on, one moment, please. Just want to quickly check something. One moment, please. Yeah, it says only 2 viewers. I think the guy left. Hey, MCM, Danny God. Hey, MCM and Danny God, can you please say you're here if you're here? Just want to make sure. Present? Okay. Thank you, MCM. Danny God, if you're not AFK, can you please confirm you're here? Thank you, MCM. Well, he hasn't been, even if he's here, he hasn't been typing recently in the chat, so. Let's get some combos. One of the things I liked about Mortal Kombat 11, I've said before, I haven't said in this particular stream before, but I'm going to show you. I like the fact that, let me turn off, let me change the settings here so it'll be easier to show you. Let's see, easy crushing blows, I'm going to turn that off. This was actually added in 2020, a year after Mortal Kombat released. But you see, first I'm going to show you what this is on block. So on block, that's +4 on block. See? So I like the fact, and you know, in Mortal Kombat 11 for a block, that's a pretty big frame advantage. You know, plus. So I'm going to switch off the block now and see what happens. What am I doing? There we go. So I landed the attack once, right? But let's say I landed again. That's a crushing blow. That's a quarter of the opponent's life gone, just like that. And if you count the first attack, that's closer to a third. Because 90 plus 260, you know, that's, oh man, silly me. Oh, that's 350. That's 350 damage. That's more than a third of your opponent's life. So I do like the fact that this game does encourage you to use attack that's plus on block by doing that. Meanwhile, I'm going to go back and show, I'm going to try to do the flawless block. Hold on. I know I can do the flawless. Hold on. It's hard to do. You gotta time it right. Why did I jump? I would have done it if I didn't jump. There we go. Whoops. I dropped the combo, but you got the idea. See, the thing about flawless block is that a lot of people do like to spam down one like this. And if let's say I'm at see, it's only like a 6-frame startup, so it's pretty quick. But obviously he's at -6 if I block it. So if he spams it, just I gotta be close, obviously. Hold on. Let me show you. There we go. See if he moves. Let me fix that. The heck? There we go. So that's how you do it. Or you could do a flawless block and get a free combo if you do it right. You gotta first of all you have to do the flawless block. You have to time the block exactly right, and then you have to do the wake up attack, which is up 2 at the same time. And you have to do it exactly right. If you notice, I'm struggling to do that. Rats. See what I mean? Obviously that's going to take practice to master, but if you do master it, it can be a huge benefit. See, if you notice with Sub-Zero, if you don't have any meters to burn, this is why you shouldn't really waste a crushing blow unless you have to, because I don't have any enhanced shoulder attacks to enhance my combo, so I just use the crushing blow instead, like this. In fact, if I'm not at a wall, I'll show you how to do the crushing blow. So, normally with Dead of Winter, I can't believe I just dropped that. So you use the meters to get your combo. That's 331 damage. But if let's just say I don't have meters to burn, I can still get as much damage if I have not used the crushing blow. Remember, you can only use, look at that, it's almost as much damage if I do the crushing blow. So it's good. You can still get good damage. Remember, you can only use each crushing blow once per match, so you got to keep that in mind. So if you waste a crushing blow, you're screwed. This is why, I'll go to the pause menu, this is why for people who want to play Mortal Kombat competitively, I like 100% recommend, like not just strongly recommend, I 100% recommend you keep the crushing blows held check on. What that means is that if you do activate a crushing blow, for example, if you get something on counter or land an attack as a punish, it's going to automatically trigger the crushing blow if you have it turned off. But if you have it turned on, you actually have to hold the attack button for the crushing blow to activate. So here's an example. I'm going to show you this as an example. In fact, for the sake of convenience, I know we don't have much time left before my next opponent. I'm going to turn on easy crushing blow. So, and I'm even going to get my opponent to stop doing that. Okay. See? So I have crushing blow off. So I'm gonna do forward 2 and then 4, right? Now watch this. See what I mean? I wasted a crushing blow. I didn't have to do that because that would have been enough damage. See? Now, what if, because it just triggered even if I didn't hold on to the button. It just automatically triggered and I wasted a crushing blow because I can't use it again for the rest of the match. It can be very useful. I mean, look at this. That's 309 damage. That can definitely be useful. So this is why in the controls I always make sure, and I 100% recommend to everybody, turn on crushing blows held check. Because if I then hold on to 4, let's say this lands in the counter, I hold on to 4, it's a lot less damage. In fact, I can even kill the person. Let's say the person doesn't have much life left. I don't need a crushing blow. I can kill him. Now, obviously, if this is the last round you need to win, it doesn't hurt to do the crushing blow because the match is going to reset when you play again. But if, let's say, you only win a round, don't activate the crushing blow. And another thing is that I'm gonna turn off easy crushing blow again. If you have meters, use the meters. Don't use the crushing blow. And another thing I recommend though is that if your opponent has 2 defensive meters, they can always do a combo breakaway, which means they can escape a combo, but they can only do it if they're in the air. So if, let's say, I freeze them, but then I jump and do the punch instead, they're not going to be in the air until after I land that string, so I can still get guaranteed damage because they can't break out of it if they're in the ground. I'm sorry, on the ground. I'm mixing up my prepositions, silly me. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't officially won yet, but the guy obviously hasn't responded, so he hasn't even responded to my messages, so I think he has about 3 minutes. Yeah, he has 3 minutes. I'm gonna check, let's see. See, look at that damage. Let's see. I think the good news is I've just officially won. Even though this is a win by default, I have officially won the match. I'm checking right now to see if I'm my end. Yep, they've officially. The admin has officially finalized my win. So I won by default. So I've won a total, I think, of let me think. I've won a total of 5 sets so far. Let's see who's commenting. Hey. Oh, thank you for the support. Yeah, the opponent never showed up. I don't know why. I mean, I sent him 2 messages. He ignored me. I reported the absence. You know, if you report an absence, your opponent does have an opportunity to say to the admins, no, I'm here, I'm here. He obviously never said that. I mean, I would have gotten the notification on my ESL accounts. You know, I would have gotten, I mean, I have access to it right now. Like, I would have gotten the notification that he's protesting the win by no-show. He can say no, I'm here, and then the admin would say, okay, well then start. He never even replied to the protest. No, he never even opened a protest. He never even replied to the no-show. So he obviously was either AFK or didn't care, to be honest. And another thing is that we have until like 7 o'clock to finish the match. If neither of us reports an absence to the admin, then the admin is just going to mark one of us as a winner by a random pick. I'm like, why should I be picked as, randomly? Why should I lose the match randomly just because this person doesn't show up? I'm ready for a match. It's not fair if I suddenly lose. So that's why I have to, I don't have much choice. I have to report the absence. And yeah, he didn't reply to the admin, he didn't reply to me, so, I mean, I don't know what else to do. Meanwhile, I actually just got the notification. It says my opponent's playing another game. I really hope. I'm wondering if these opponents are aware that this is a double elimination tourney. Maybe they got eliminated, maybe they thought they were eliminated, I don't know. But it says my opponent's not even playing Mortal Kombat right now, so I'm gonna try to join. In fact, I'll probably DM him right now. Oh, it just said he switched to Mortal Kombat 11. Good. I think he'll join. Excuse me. Here's my opponent just joined, so that means I'm going to mute the mic.
Sub-Zero. Shao Kahn. Goro's lair. Round 1. Fight.
Beg for your life.
Round 2. Fight. Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Shao Kahn. The Hourglass. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight! Sub-Zero wins.
Alright, good games. I believe in the new something. A little tip I give to everybody. I call it no loose ends. This kind of applies to Tekken as well. Let's see who's commenting. I'm gonna check the notifications. What's up with the last round, MCM? Yes, yeah. It's in the last round. Little tip I'm gonna give. I call it no loose ends. I always have it in the back of the mind. Why risk dropping a combo? If let's say my opponent is frozen, why risk dropping a combo and risk losing the round when I can just have the fatal blow finish the job for me? If I can have the fatal blow end the round for me, I'm going to use it. Especially if it's my second round that I only need to win one more round. I mean, I only needed to win one more round to win that match, and obviously then win the set. So why risk dropping a combo? Why risk doing something silly and dropping a combo and then possibly have the opponent take that round away from me? And that actually really applies to Tekken as well, especially for Tekken, since Rage Arts, unlike Mortal Kombat, Rage Arts reset every round, not every match, but every round. So why risk dropping a combo when I can just have the Rage Art end round for me? So that's a little tip I give you. I call it no loose ends. That's the term I like to give it. So just a little tip there. Meanwhile, I've won a total of 6 sets so far. So, one moment please, I want to check something. Oh, final round of the tournament. So MCM. So this is actually a Swiss system. So I've won 6. I'm going to be playing 8 no matter what. I've already lost 1. So if let's say I lose the next set, the set that's going to be happening at 7:30. If I lose that next set, then I'm gone. But if I actually happen to win that next set, I'm actually going to be playing a set at 8. But if let's say I win, that's the 8th set, I'm done no matter what. If I play 8 sets total, I'm done. Doesn't matter whether I win or lose, and then I'm placed. So if I actually beat my next opponent, I have a chance of making it to the top 8. I really hope I can do that. Can I? We'll find out. I'm actually going to quickly check, before I go any further, I'm going to quickly check the link. I did post in the Twitch chat earlier. Let me know if you have trouble accessing it. I'll put in the link. Hold on. I might have heard an echo, so... Let's see, hold on. Whoops. One moment, please. I'm having trouble locating it. The problem is, as I said, I'm running out of stuff to teach. I would think, if anything, I'll probably teach how to play as another character I play as. I play as Scorpion. Maybe I could give a little bit of lessons there. I can't really do that good of a job, though, because I don't really know him that well. But I could probably teach some basics. But meanwhile, I want to see where I stand. Okay. Makes sense. They say I'm in the top 10 right now, but that's for now. Not everybody's completed their match, so I'll still post the link again so you can see where I stand. So you won't have to go through the chat. You won't have to go through the chat history. So you won't have to go through the chat. You won't have to go through the chat history. Sorry about the echo. I was viewing Twitch on my end. Let's see. Yep, I posted it, so. Yeah, I guess I could teach a little bit of Scorpion. I don't know how long I'm gonna teach, but I can give some of the basics. Let me set up the tournament variation first. I don't have this tournament variation set up. I'll use the Searing Rage one. Then I'll... Whoops. What? I'll just say Searing Rage. There we go. So I'll teach you how to play as this variant of Scorpion. Some of the do's and don'ts.
Sub-Zero. Scorpion.
It'll be easier to teach the don'ts if I have two Scorpions.
Forgotten war camp.
You're welcome, MCM. Alright. So here's a big difference between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, first of all, is that Sub-Zero's startup is pretty much the same. If you notice that his while standing 2 and while standing 1 are the same startups, but if you notice that's not the case with Scorpion, look, it's a 2-frame difference. If you hit 2 or 1, it's a big difference. Oh, holy... Okay, sorry about this, but I suddenly got another tournament match coming up. Oh, that was fast. I guess everybody finished early. Sorry about that. I'll probably have to do this later or maybe another stream, so... Sorry about the wild goose chase. I didn't expect this to happen so fast. Yeah, 13 players, yeah. Not much left. So, yeah, I'm gonna find my opponent right now. It says he's offline, but he's obviously appearing offline. Let's see who's commenting. And you come. Yep. Thank you, MCM. Yeah, usually I thought it was going to be another 15 minutes before I played my opponent. There we go. Alright. I'm going to mute the mic now.
Kombat. Sub-Zero. Tarkatan War Camp. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight. Final round. Fight! Finish him! Kung Lao wins! Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight!
good games. This is exactly what I was talking about. I was talking about this actually just earlier on the stream. The no loose ends, I should have done the fatal blow. That was on me. I should have done the fatal blow. But you see, I wanted to save my fatal blow for the next round. I probably should not have been so greedy for that. I definitely could have won that round if I just did the fatal blow. I messed up that string, and sure enough, that was, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, you know, I was just talking about the no loose end strategy. This is a perfect example. I messed up, and you know, I took a chance and I paid the price. I should have just done the fatal blow, and I would have at least had a chance to win. Yep, exactly. Exactly, MCM. That was I was a little too greedy. I was trying to save the fatal blow for the next round. I mean, I definitely, no doubt about it, I definitely would have used the fatal blow if it was the only round I needed to win, but I had to win one more round after that, so, you know, that's what I get for being greedy. In fact, what am I doing? I figure I could still give a small scorpion lesson. I'm not going to be here for much longer, but you know, I don't think it's very nice to promise a scorpion lesson and then suddenly drop out, especially since I already kind of started it, so. Let's see who's texting. GG's MCM. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. To be honest, I might be gone by the time you come back. Let's see who's. Oh, thank you, MCM. I appreciate the support. I'm definitely gonna post this on YouTube. I'm gonna do a little editing because I was AFK for a while, but I'll be posting this to YouTube. That one mistake at the end, though, came back to haunt me. But I'm going to give a small scorpion lesson. I'm going to give him some tips and tricks, and then I'm probably going to head out. So, thank you for the support, MCM. Appreciate it. So, meanwhile, I already told you about how the startup frames and, you know, startup frames of wall standing 1, 2 are different. One of the things you can do with Scorpion is you can buff him a little bit. Any chain attacks, related to chain are buffed if you have down back quarter circle. So down back, so press down then back and then 4, and he'll actually buff the spear. So if you actually do this, you can get some good damage. Now here's some of the combos you can do with Scorpion. That's 1-1 and then cancel, or actually 1-1, 1-1 cancel to down then back, down to back to X. Back quarter circle. The thing about Scorpion, though, is that you can really only get good combos if you use meters. You know what I mean? See, this thing with Scorpion, that's pretty much all you can get is 325. If you use both, you have to use both meters. And that's with the enhanced spear. If let's say you don't do it with the enhanced spear, well, let's see what happens. See, without the enhanced spear, it's not even 300, and that's, you know, considering the fact you have to use both meters, you know, that's not really that much, if you think about it. And obviously with Scorpion, this is obviously punishable. If you notice, that's a high, which means it can be ducked, and you can use the enhanced, but if someone blocks it, obviously it's punishable. I would show up, but I don't think that's necessary. It's pretty obvious. Something though, if let's say one crushing blow combo you can get with Scorpion though is, let's see, which move is punishable? Oh, silly me, I already said it. Hold on, that didn't work. Why isn't it activating? Hey, something's screwy here. I thought that was punishable. Hold on. See, don't know Scorpion that well. Oh, it has to be a combo of 8 or more hits. It's not a counter, so silly me. Okay, that's easy. Actually, see the damage difference? There you go. Still, come to think about it, that's 276. That's not that much, especially considering the fact that you're burning some meters. This is one of the reasons why Scorpion, in my opinion, is not really that useful. He's a good beginner-friendly character, but if you want to use him competitively, you know, you gotta have like a really good neutral because you can't really like rely on combos that much. You have to have like a super-duper good neutral. It's against the advanced players who are good at figuring people out, you know. In my opinion, Scorpion, based on the way I play, everybody plays games different ways and all that, but the way I play is only going to get me so far. But I still think he's a good warm-up character. And obviously, one of the crushing blows he has. So it's, you know, that's down quarter circle, back quarter circle, 3, and then an enhanced move. And spear is back forward 1. But the big thing though is that what's really interesting about Scorpion is that just until now the spear was actually a stun without an enhanced meter, without a meter burn. You know, that was actually as recent as Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat 11 is literally the first game of all Mortal Kombat games where Scorpion's spear does not stun you, which I find really interesting. You have to use an enhanced meter. So that's one of the ways Scorpion got nerfed in this game. Alright. Well, I could probably teach, you know, I think I, said a fair amount about Scorpion. You know, it is, I do have some stuff to take care of, and I have no more tournament, and I said a fair amount of things to Scorpion. I said it was going to be a small lesson, and, you know, I think I can call it right now, so, yeah, I'll definitely be streaming future tournaments. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be streaming a Tekken 7 tourney tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm also going to be streaming Fall Guys on Thursday, so, and I think I'll be streaming Watch Dogs Bloodline DLC on the weekend. So, again, everybody, thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. This Paper Cut Radiation concluding the stream, and I just want to say to everybody, you all have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.